What's up YouTube? This is my son's Polaris Outlaw 50 and today I want to make a video, just a general review and my thoughts of how this thing's built, and then also a complete maintenance video from engine oil, transmission fluid, tightening the rear chain and all of your suspension bushings, and maybe even get a little grease in the steering stem bushing. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start with this ATV from front to back. Now out front we have a single A-arm front suspension. It actually has a lot of compliance. It works pretty good. Pretty smooth ride. As you can see right here, we have drum brakes in each front wheel. And you have a dual cable coming off of your handlebar over here by your throttle. And that really actually gives a lot of braking force. Now, drums really aren't the most powerful brakes, but you're going pretty slow with a very light rider. I think it's going to be okay. Same for the rear. Right here is your rear brake. Everything's very adjustable, very easy to make it fit for your little guy or girl. I'm pretty happy with the front suspension, but let's make a note. You do have a single pivot for this one little control arm. It's a little strange, but I understand. These are very small riders. It's not taking a ton of abuse, not hitting big jumps, so I can see why they did that. Just makes it a little maybe cheaper to produce. And now I'd like to focus a little bit on the cockpit of this ATV. The on-off switch is very easy to work. I will say this really high key is easy to snap off because when I purchased this ATV secondhand, the original key was broken off in the ignition, so I had to do a little work to get it out. I can see why it's easily swiped off. Right here you have a lanyard for a kill switch. I pulled mine off. I don't see any real reason going this slow to need it, but it is there for safety and liability for the company. I understand. Right here you have your running kill switch. You have your start button. You even have a horn. I'll turn it on and show you. It's as loud as a car horn, which is kind of annoying, but the kids love it. To start the ATV, you're going to pull back either your front or rear brake while hitting the start button, and it will fire right up. Over here you have your throttle, and there is a limit screw, and as you can see right here, right now, that as much as my throttle moves, and that is enough to engage our CVT transmission, which we will talk about next. So now we're moving on to the powertrain. It's a 50cc air-cooled engine, and right here is actually your big CVT cover. It's cast aluminum. Mine's a little pitted from being older, but it's okay. Right here is an option for a kickstart lever. It's a kickstart if your battery is dead. I actually do not have the lever, so I can't show you how it operates, but it's just a spline shaft. Very simple operation. This CVT, you can actually limit this thing down to about 5 miles per hour. I'm pretty confident in that. I've done it. My son's 3 years old. I want to start early. He's been on Power Wheels since he was like 2, so his motor vehicle skills are very good. But I'm glad to see that this CVT will engage at a very low RPM, so just make a note of that. So let's show you the other side where the engine is. Now over here they did a really good job with trying to keep this thing safe from your kids burning themselves. This is actually a plastic shroud right here over your exhaust header, and everything's really tucked away. You can see the motor right down in here. You actually have a voltage rectifier right here. You see there's a choke lever right there. It's actually operated by your handlebar. You rarely even need the choke in my experience, but it is there if needed. Now we come to the rear. You see here's your rear drum brake. You have your rear shock. There's 3 inches of suspension travel, front and rear, ironically. You have a chain guard here. That's good. You know, it keeps your kids away from directly putting their fingers in, but you do have to teach them the importance of, you know, the chain. The muffler can be hot, and just give them a general idea of how things work. Right here is your adjustment for your rear brakes. Very simple, very standard. Down here is your chain adjustments. You have 2 pinch bolts under here, and it helps it rotate to tighten your chain, and we're going to show you that in a bit. Your tail lights are actually functional with the brake levers, which I really like. And then when the bike's running, this is illuminated as well. Also, these little hole shot tires I really like. That's a fun tread pattern they put on there. They grip really well, and makes the bike look a little more scale of a smaller, you know, racing quad. So now that you have a general understanding of how this ATV is built, I'm actually going to put it on its butt and show you the underside and how that rear suspension actually works. Just going to engage this functional parking brake and lift her right on up, all 210 pounds of her. Now in my opinion, this is where a lot of things change from a cheap stick Chinese ATV to maybe a Polaris engineered ATV. Now these are made by a few different manufacturers, but look how big this oil reservoir is for this engine. It's ridiculous. It's as big as maybe like a 250 or something. Granted, this is a 50cc engine, all this cooling, very nice design. The rear swing arm starts here and actually ends right here. What does that mean? Your chain is always going to stay under the same tension because it's in a fixed position. Another very good idea. I've seen a few Chinese ATVs where the rear swing arm is actually a pivot. No good. This is superior, and it gives you a long travel, smooth ride. And when my son rides it, I can see it's actually like a pretty decent ride. There's a 90-pound weight limit on this thing, so when I ride it, it is completely slammed. But when he rides it, it actually rides really good. Frame's built well. Your footwells are actually all metal. Very nice. Even have little tiny skid plates for your chain and for your rear drum. So overall, I'm really happy with the construction. So I have the ATV put back down on the ground. To remove the rear seat, you just pull on this little latch, slide it backwards, seat comes off, which reveals your air box. And there should be like a kick start assembly somewhere right here that I don't have. But this is your intake tube, and there's your carburetor. So it's a really easy bike to service, and we're going to show you that next. So we're going to install the seat. There's a hook, actually 2 hooks. Just slide it on like that, and really it has a nice OEM fit like any other Polaris. Now the last thing to do is simply fire it up. Make sure your kill switch is in the run position. Turn your key on, grab either brake. We're going to grab the rear and fire it up. And as you can see, your headlights are on and your tail light will also be glowing. Even at idle, there is no light switch for on and off. And then I'm going to give it a quick rev. So guys, I'm actually going to break this into 2 videos. I don't want to make it too wordy or too long, but that is my overall review on the Polaris Outlaw 50. I hope this video helps you. If it does, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.